Hey guys, 2 days ago while I was at work, I had this. Well, it's a client we serve in my business. We've been dealing with them for years. And it was this man woman that was married and they're like in their 90s. So I think they're greatest generation, not boomers, technically. I think they were born like the 30s during the Depression. Anyways, the husband, he died like 2 years ago. But when we were doing work on their property, and the and I'll just say it like, yeah, I do landscaping. Okay, that's what I do. So I go out there, and it's just me and this other guy that I'm over. I'm kind of like second in command at the place I'm at. We're there cutting the grass, doing our thing. It's hot out. We're trying to get it done, and then get home with some AC or in that truck with some AC, whatever. She comes out, flags me down. I come over to her, and of course I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. Is there something you need? Blah blah blah." And she's like, "Y'all used to cut that spot over there behind the trees. Why don't y'all do that anymore?" And it's like, well, we stopped doing that because your husband died, and he would ride a golf cart around there. She's like, "Well, I need you to do it. I could see it from the house, and it makes me sick." I'm just like trying to be polite about it. I'm like, okay. She's like, "I need you to cut right next to them trees. I need you to cut closer to them." I go and cut close to the trees, like as close as I can get with the mower. Now I go back to doing my usual routine out there of mowing. And then she comes back out. She goes, "Did you not understand what I said the first time? Blah, blah, blah. I need you to cut over there by there." I'm like, "What?" And there's like a specific section between these trees you want to cut back more. Of course, doesn't give you any real description of how far back. She's like, "Between there, like back, you know?" And it's like, well, how much back? Okay. And this woman's 95 years old. Okay. Almost, I just stayed professional and polite about it just because, like, I'm trying to be a good representative of my employer. And you're 95 years old. You don't have much life left. Yet, y'all are the people that want to talk about patience and virtue, but when you get to near the end of your lives, you're the most impatient fucks possible. Or you just gotta sit here and nag when a year before your husband died, he told me he'd rather be back in the war in Korea than with you. So, but even then, just boomers general, which the her husband, he was chill dude. I know one time he told me though, he's like, "Hey, do a favor and die young and leave a pretty corpse. Don't be something sad like me." I'm like, wow, he was like self aware. And also too, he started like having a bunch of health problems and stuff. And he was basically forced against his will to get medical treatment because he just wanted to go. But no, his wife and granddaughters have to sit here and keep him around so they can have something to antagonize still, I guess. And you know, that Boomers and greatest generation, in my experience, ain't really much difference in terms of mentality. They She'll talk about how she cares about her children, grandchildren. I think they have some great grandchildren as well. They'll talk about how much they care about them, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, if you really cared, wouldn't you give like one of your grandchildren or great grandchildren who's struggling financially and all that and getting a house? Wouldn't you just give them your house and resign yourself to your fate? Like, there's nothing significant you're going to achieve in your life at 95 years old. Okay. All you really are at that point, unless you're some extremely prestigious person, which I'm not, they aren't, and any of you guys watch this vid, you aren't prestigious people either. Okay, it's just you don't have to be saved at all cost. And sometimes I question like how sentient are. I know I do believe in NPC theory, where I think a vast proportion of the populace is probably possessed by like some demonic entity. And maybe it's a case too that you age out to a certain point where your soul just leaves your body and is replaced by some demonic entity. That could be real, but I don't know. It just seems like everybody over the age of, say, like 60 is just actively out to mentally and spiritually attack everybody around them under the age of 30. And our laws, I'm not trying to Fed post nothing here, but it's just, let's say if I took action in defending any sort of honor or pride I had within me, I would face severe legal ramifications for it. In Minecraft, that is. Don't go out doing anything that's legal, guys. But just because it's legal doesn't make it right, and just because it's illegal doesn't make it wrong necessarily. And also, too, it's just, I think the quintessential core of boomerism, besides them being pseudo, funny hat people, is they all they think collective issues can be solved with individualistic solutions, which is false. The only time that worked was they lived in this artificial state of prosperity that was never seen before on Earth, and without the same extreme circumstances will never be seen again. Okay, yeah, you level basically the entirety of the first world except your country, and your country has a massive industrial capacity. Yeah, you're going to be well off financially as a populace. But those days are long gone. Okay. I think that's all I really got to say, guys. Hope y'all are doing well. Y'all take it easy.